Assalamu alaikum! It's been a while. It's been far too long. I had a very ambitious episode planned. I interviewed a man I've talked about before on this show very briefly, a previous Peace Corps volunteer named Akshay Devrakand. He was here for almost 4 years because he extended twice. He was here through the aftermath of the 2016 election, and he was also the media Peace Corps volunteer leader, essentially meaning he was in charge of media for Peace Corps the Gambia. I had a great interview with him. I think it turned out pretty well, or at least the actual filming of it turned out pretty well. The editing, it didn't end up going some of the ways I was expecting to. It made it so the outline I had prepared didn't really logically fit, and also wouldn't easily fit into one episode very nicely. So I ended up having to move a lot of stuff around, and then there was some like personal stuff that happened, and then before long I ended up just sort of putting it aside for way too long, and now it has this strange glitch where I can only edit it in Wi-Fi. In Wi-Fi in this country. And for that reason, it's definitely coming. It's gonna be great when it comes, but I don't know. At some point I just decided I should do one of these in the meantime, in the interim. Until I can get that interview up, finished and uploaded, be excited. Anyway, some other stuff I've been up to lately. I have been recently made the country coordinator for Peace Corps' Malaria Task Force. I'm also currently with a bunch of other Peace Corps volunteers across the country working on pilot projects for a program called ProActive. It's a malaria eradication initiative. We go compound to compound with the community health nurse and a village health worker, though in my case, somebody not actually the village health worker, because my village health worker is not really able to walk very well. We go compound for compound looking for people with symptoms of malaria, testing them for a fever, and if they have a fever, testing them using a rapid diagnostic test, which is a type of enzyme-linked immunosorbence assay that looks for plasmodium proteins. With the RID test, we then can diagnose malaria, and if somebody has malaria, we can then treat them right there, give them the medication, and obviously this is going to help them in the short term because we're going to be hitting people ideally very quickly within them getting it and showing symptoms, but beyond that, we're also damaging the reservoir. Plasmodium parasites aren't going to be hanging out in people for as long, which means mosquitoes aren't going to be able to bite people and pick up the plasmodium parasite. We're halting the cycle. That's the idea of how this project will work, and hopefully good strides in eradicating malaria in the country. And that's something just in general regarding malaria in the Gambia. Rates of malaria are pretty low, significantly lower than they once were thanks to many malaria prevention initiatives. From bed net distributions to seasonal malaria prophylaxis, people have been doing a good job. And this is why this program, the one we're looking at right now, ProActive, what it actively is aimed at is eradication. Hopefully getting rid of it in its entirety. So something else kind of interesting, we've been in the middle of the rainy season for months now, and the Gambia during the rainy season is a very different place, and a beautiful place. Lush greenery has come up everywhere, and I recently for the first time took a trip to Basse, which is on the other side of the country from where I've been. First time really leaving my area of the country. I've spent most of my time in the West Coast region and the Lower River region, but this is the first time I've really gone out, and I drove in a bus looking across all of the Central River region and the Upper River region, or at least the south side of it, and it was beautiful. I was taken aback by it. I had heard stories about it being this almost desolate wasteland. That's the way people seem to describe it, but I was shocked at its beauty. And I know a part of that is simply because this is the rainy season. Everywhere was green, and here everywhere is green too. So much greener than I've ever seen it before. But that said, rainy season is also kind of the hardest time. It's the most hot, it's the most humid, and also it's the time of disease. Because there's so much water, mosquitoes breed more, malaria spikes during this time of year. Infectious organisms live in the water. If you have open sores, you gotta be careful. You can get an infection, and people get cysts all the time. I've gotten some cysts in places. Very bad places. As we come into the rainy season, things get uncomfortable, but we've had a lot of time to harden. We've had a lot of time to get tough and used to the Gambia. So when it comes, we have all this ability to appreciate this great beauty before us. So we're coming up on a year. It's September right now while I'm filming this. October is approaching fast. And that means 1 year anniversary. That's something that's kind of huge in many ways. It's not technically halfway, but it's pretty close, and the education cohort above us has already had their halfway. It feels fast, and it feels slow. It's an interesting way time has accelerated at great speeds and also felt like it stands still. I love it and I hate it. It's great, and it is really awful. There's some other things that means. That means the new cohort is coming in soon. I'm really excited about that. Hoping to get this video out before the new cohort comes in, so that way the one person from the new cohort who actually watches this vlog can see it, maybe. But also, I think probably more importantly, you've come to the end of your service. AmeriCorps is only 1 year, and you started before me. You started a few months before me, so you've come to the end of your service. And it's something I'm kind of interested in reflecting on. Kind of wish we had had more conversation through this vlog. There really wasn't as much back and forth, and it's something that I kind of wish I could have seen more of what you were up to. But nonetheless, it's something I'd like to ask you. I would really love it if you did a vlog of your own where you talked about and reflected on your service, how it changed you, how it changed the way you view the world, how it changed the way you are planning on moving forward, what you plan on doing moving forward, and what you think the most important insights are there, and any and all adventures you had. Because, as I've said before, adventure is there everywhere, every day. It's just up to us to notice it. So, I love you, you're a brother to me, and I look forward to seeing whatever you have to say, whether it be in vlog or whether it be by text or whether it be in person. However it is, I'm happy to speak, I'm happy to converse. But until that time, I'm going to say what I always say. Bene King. Towards next time.